Gilbert, did you see Sean McVay or Matthew Stafford yell at the referee and try to fight them after the non-illegal block in the back on that punt
Yeah, they
return
could have been
was
like
not
three of
called?
them on that punt return. But no, I did not see that from Sean
Oh,
McVay.
okay. That's interesting.
You used to
I'm
get on Sean
very
McVay for all the fist bumps though, and jumping on the field and stuff like that. He's kind of toned it down because they haven't been winning as much. But yeah,
because I don't think he expected to be this freaking like. I don't know if he expected to be this good. Look, I'm going to tell you something before. Well, obviously the Ravens beat the Rams 37-31. Eric Weddle was on the Coach JB show this morning, and he was talking about what Sean McVay does and what he talks about and everything. He's like, look, he's like Sean McVay's one of these guys that he'll take constructive criticism. He doesn't, and you know how some people say that Sean McVay may have a big ego, stuff
yeah,
like that. Well, the way that Eric Weddle said, Eric's like, he'll sit down and I'll tell him like, hey, coach, I think we should do this. I don't think we should go that way. And that he's like, oh, okay, if you see it like that, well, let's sit down and discuss it. And that they'll discuss it. I'm sure that's what's happening right now with this team. And it's just impressive. I mean, if you and I don't knock them. I actually give them more credit in this game against Baltimore because, I mean, yeah, Lamar went 24-43, 316, 3 touchdowns. But Matthew Stafford right with him, 23 of 41, 294, 3 touchdowns. He hasn't really turned the ball over all that much as of late. And then Cooper Kupp, 8 for 115, 1 touchdown. Puka Nacua, 5 for 84. Kyren Williams, again, 25, 114. Gilbert, I think what I'm impressed with the most, well, what I thought was like concerning in that game yesterday was the fact that like there were so many wide open passes, so many like there was just way too much, and I was kind of like, hey, both defenses need to kind of tone it down a little bit and get right. But there was a lot of good offensive play. The defense was kind of but definitely I have to give credit to the Rams and Sean McVay for the way they played yesterday. I mean, that just shows you that if the Rams sneak into the playoffs, they're going to be a difficult team to go up against.
yeah, we spoke about it last year. Like if they get in, they're going to be a dangerous out. And I didn't pick them to win against the Ravens, but they really impressed the heck out of me. And I think that should be fine if they beat the Commanders, the Saints, and the Giants 3 weeks in a row. And who knows about the 49ers game? That could be very pivotal at the end. But Fernando, like the future is bright, like that light in your face right now from the sun, natural sun right there. The broadcast kept mentioning, Fernando, 3 fifth-round picks contributing to that game. Puka Nacua, Kyren Williams, and then Davis Allen, who filled in admirably for Tyler Higbee. Go Giants. Delbert. Oh, because they're playing the Packers. I get that. Delbert Salgado's from House of Horns. I've seen him before. So shout out for the comments. We'll see if Jordan Loves might struggle against the Giants. But again, that trio right there, 3 fifth-round picks, just shows you Les Snead knows how to hit on draft picks. And to your point earlier on Sean McVay, Fernando, I covered him last year. I never got the sense that this guy's like, it's my way or the highway. He's always kind of, especially in that losing season, it's like, okay, what can we do to figure it out? Let's talk here. And it really challenged him. So, I think going through a new core group with young guys, and I bet you Fernando, he was maybe a little bit stubborn and trying to make Cooper Kupp the focal point of the offense. And he's like, you know what? Puka Nacua and Kyren Williams need to be the face of this offense here. And then to Matthew Stafford's credit, he also adjusted. He's leaning on the young guys. And that was a great quarterback game, Jackson and Stafford. But, I'm giving the Rams a lot of praise and credit for the offense. The defense has been underrated. They fell apart yesterday. But I'm gonna be a little critical in two areas here. Special teams have been a problem all season long for the Rams, and it bit them at the worst time in the punt return there. Yeah, a couple pushes in the black, but in the back, but you got to get the guy
Yeah.
down. You got to get a stop and give your offense a chance there. And then time management on the final drive regulation was pretty bad, Fernando. There was a couple of times where delay of game, they couldn't get the call in. Supposedly it was a headset problem there. You got to do something better, especially Stafford being a veteran. Like it's either Stafford or McVay. You want it better there. And especially because you thought maybe the loss is going to be on the young guys, growing pains and just learning for a big game like that. But it was game management, and then it was special teams miscues. That was frustrating. But after the game, it's like, all right, this team's going to be dangerous. They win those 3 games, maybe beat the 49ers. Like, if you're trying to play Detroit in round one, I could definitely see the Rams beating them.
Yeah, no, and Detroit right now looks fraudulent, especially after losing to the Bears. By the way, that's going to be another tough decision for the Bears. Like Justin Fields has actually
Yeah.
been playing pretty well since he came back from that
And that
injury.
defense,
So
Fran, if you look it up right now,
yeah,
if I told you the number one run defense in the NFL, Chicago Bears.
yeah, Montez Sweat has added a lot to that defense. So that was a pretty good trade for the future.
What did you think about
Um,
Lamar, real quick? Because I thought he really impressed me against the Rams.
sure.
No,
Uh,
you didn't see those throws. He had to Zay Flowers and
well, I'm gonna be
OBJ.
honest. I didn't really watch the game all that
Yeah.
much just
You
because
know
I
how
was
we've been critical of that passing game? They
yeah.
stepped up. Like Likely and OBJ and Flowers, like that to
Well,
me made me
Flowers,
feel
we all
like
know the dude's dangerous.
it made me
But
feel like this is a team I could get behind on in the AFC because again, I don't trust the Dolphins. The Chiefs will to get to them in a bit. I think the Bills can make an argument to find their way in, but the Jaguars are not doing anything either. I think that might be the Ravens here. I don't know. At least in the
I don't
AFC.
know. I'm interested to see what's gonna happen though with the. By the way, what's his name already signed with the Eagles?
Shaquille.
Darius Leonard or whatever. Yeah,
Shaquille.
Shaquille, whatever. And but Zach Ertz, what the hell are you waiting for? Like, come on, make a decision already. Get going. But my bad. Well, because the
Cotter's already back too.
Baltimore Ravens are
Yeah.
one of those guys.
Hey, Likely wasn't bad though. He had a couple big games yesterday too.
A fear stop.
What did
He because
he's writing paragraphs in the comments here in the
he's
chat.
saying that Dan was wrong about what he's or terrible about what he said post game about the front office and coaching and stuff. But I don't know. From my experience, he's kind of spot on everything he was saying. But I mean, I guess to each their own. I'm just you're right though about if Matthew Stafford right now is not turning the ball over. That's what's really impressive about him. And I mean, obviously we've seen that Ravens defense. We saw it up close a couple of weeks ago. They're tough. They're a tough bunch. And
Kyle
for him,
Hamilton being hurt though is very concerning though.
it really well. And I guess he escaped like long term. He
Yeah,
might.
it's like
I
an
mean,
MCL sprain, so he could be a couple weeks out.
okay. So let's just say that he misses this week.
I got to memorize, Fernando. Jaguars, 49ers, Dolphins, Steelers.
That 49ers game.
Oh yeah, I'm not expecting that one, but they could beat the Jaguars, they could beat the Dolphins and the Steelers. I think they'll be fine. But yeah, 49ers, yeah.
Yeah,
Anybody who
but
plays them right now are in the goat race.
that 49ers game could deflate like kind of what they have. And I mean the 49ers defense, like they allowed Drew Lock to move up and down the field a couple of times at the beginning, but the thing is they settled down at one point, and the Ravens are gonna have to score early well, I mean, obviously that's a preview for way too far along, but
they can't hang. I'll just say that.
yeah, no. It just that 49ers team is freaking nuts. But yeah, no, the Rams definitely I agree with you. Baltimore's a good team. I mean, I'll admit that defense is nuts. And then obviously, like we said, the one thing I've been waiting for, I don't know, did he play? Yeah. Bateman is the one that Rashad Bateman is the one that kind of needs to turn it on. Like,
dude, I watched most of that game. I never saw him. Like he did a couple things, but it's
yeah,
like
he had I think like 2 or 3 catches, but
Zay Flowers though, he's fun to watch too, man. He that touchdown on third down, I think it was to
he's
make it
electric.
to go ahead and lay in the game. Like, oof, this guy's good.
But I keep on telling you, like the Rams are maybe a little bit ahead of schedule. Like their
Oh
thing
yeah,
is going to be like next year is going to be where the Rams are going. I think
they
they're going
got
to be
money
better.
too. They got salary
Yeah,
cap. They fixed that thing quickly. So
yeah.
if you draft well, like it could definitely change your outlet. Could make you be an instant playoff team, and they're right there, man. So
I think draft picks need to go to offensive line and defense. Offensive line and defense need to be the two biggest.
Yeah, they need a pass rusher and maybe another tackle.
Okay, I watched post game show yesterday.
He's gonna read it slowly. Today, Junior.
No, okay. You read it then. You read it in your head.
These are long. Okay.
Okay, I'll just speak while you're doing that. But that's what's going to be. You know what's been key also is the return of Kyren Williams. Kyren Williams, and like I told you guys, when I was at Notre Dame, I don't know, did I like read it incorrectly?
It sounds like Dan was criticizing the front office and the coaching, which sounds accurate to me. That's fine. I don't know if I'm reading it,
Yeah, I think
but
I may be just reading
I
it
don't know,
off.
Theo. I think you
But
just like fighting with Dan and Fernando.
I don't know why. We're such great guys. He's over here, by the way. But yeah, he got it's finals this week, so he got home early. But the addition of Kyren Williams, and like I told you guys, like last time at Notre Dame, everybody was on that train. Like they were talking about him. They said pass catching is probably his best trait. And I'm like, damn, watching him run the football, I'm like, damn, like this dude's really a complete back. And I really think that if he stays healthy the rest of the way, I really think that they can attack via ground and obviously in air. But I'm definitely interested in I'm definitely interested to see what happens moving forward with the Rams. But like I told you, Gilbert, I think they're a couple of Athir's mad at you.
Is Dan gonna pop in?
Yeah. But definitely, Gilbert. I just think that the Rams they could do. They're ahead of schedule, but I think they're doing everything that they instead of putting it away. I think they're doing everything correctly. So they're just impressed. And what Eric see, that's why I like listening sometimes I like listening to that show because when Eric Weddle jumps on, it's like the way he was talking about McVay, I was like, oh wow, okay, maybe I never thought about it like that. Like he's giving you insight on what it's like being on the inside, and that's pretty interesting. But yeah, I mean the Rams are what Lamar certainly earned his big bucks, couldn't catch him. Also this QB shootout reminded me of Goff and Mahomes in the Coliseum. I remember that game was nuts. That game was supposed to be in Mexico City.
Yeah.
And because of Shakira had torn up the field, she had just had a concert, and they were like, "We can't play this here," so they moved it to the Coliseum.